all are doing well. In this video, you are going to learn about a new concept of sociology, that is social change. So it is going to be really interesting because you're going to apply it, you're going to relate it with your daily life examples. So let's take a start. First of all, as the term is social change, so I'm supposed to understand the word change first, and then I'm going to understand in the way of society, that means social change. So what do you mean by change, and what exactly change is, and why is it important? Many of the philosophers, many of the thinkers give an idea that anything that is alive is moving, is changing throughout and continuously, and something that is static, that is not changing, it means that it is dead. So like example is given, one of the ancient Greek philosophers, Heraclitus, says that it is impossible for a man to step into the same river twice. Like for example, if you are stepping into a river, the water is continuously moving, it is not stagnant, so it is moving. So likewise, you are not going to step into the river twice, that is same, it is going to be changed. Similarly, change is the law of nature, it is a universal process, it is something that goes on, that is inevitable, and you cannot stop it. Your whole social processes, your whole life, your body, for example, if I talk about the biological features, you see yourself as an organism, you keep on changing, your body features keep on changing throughout your life till your death. You stop changing when you are died, but till that you keep on changing. Why? Because it is law of nature. If you see your surroundings, for example, if I take an example of climatic changes, seasons, your seasons are continuously in change. You don't observe the same atmosphere or same seasons outside around you. Similarly, if I talk about social life or society, it is also moving. It is also changing over time. You see many alterations, many modifications around you. Either it could be because of technology, because of thinkings of people, their mindsets, their ideologies, whatever, but you see many of the changing patterns, many of the alterations and modifications around you in the social life, in the social processes, in the whole structure of society, and in the society as a whole. So if I am supposed to talk about society, and if I quote the example of Auguste Comte's type of society, that is dynamic and static, you can observe over there as well, and you are going to support the point of social dynamics. Society is continuously changing, and change, either it could be positive, leading towards the progress, either it could be negative, leading towards the downward mobility of the individual and downward movement of the society. Let it be transformation of societies from hunting and gathering societies, from stone age to the industrialized societies. So you observe many changes. Similarly, if I take another example of the ways of earning your livelihood, you may say that before people used to earn their livelihoods through the farming, then factory system came, industrialization came, machines replaced the positions of men. You observe many downward social mobility of many laborers over there at the time in the industrial revolution or industrial period, but you observe that overall structure of society kept on changing over time up till now, and it is going to continue till the society ends up. So let's take a start by defining social change. There are many different definitions of social change given by different social scientists. If I talk about general definition of social change, by my introduction, you must have got that social change means alterations in the overall structure of society and mindsets of people. So let's have a look at the definitions by different social scientists. First of all, Fairchild defines that variations or modifications in any aspect of social process, pattern or form. Like if you observe any sort of variation or any sort of modification in the social processes, patterns or forms of the society or any aspect of society, it means here you can say that it is a social change. Then Jensen says that social change may be defined as modification in ways of doing and thinking of people. Here he's actually talking about the non-material aspect of culture, that means thinking patterns. Here I'm going to give you an example of how did thinking of people change. For example, let's take an example of education of females. Before, especially in the traditional societies, like if I talk about Asian societies like Pakistan, we can observe that before there was no concept of women doing work, women doing job or seeking education. But right now you can see that at the university level you can observe higher percentage of women as compared to males. So this is the change in the thinking pattern of people, that they consider education as an important element for females as well, like men. So this was an example that how the thinking of people changed. Then another example is social changes are actually variations from the accepted modes of life, whether due to alterations in geographical conditions and cultural equipments, composition of the population or ideologies, and brought about by diffusion or inventions with the group. So here the social scientists are actually talking about different social factors that are responsible for social change, including geographical areas, including your natural environment, including your material aspect of culture, including your population and your ideologies. These all actually collectively bring about changes in your society. Then Horton defined it as change in overall societal structure and relationship of a society. Whenever I'm talking about structure, it means that I'm talking about the 5 basic institutions of the society. That means education, family, economy, government, and religion. All these 5 institutions actually make up the structure of your society. And if you observe any, now coming towards the characteristics of social change, and while defining and giving the introduction of social change, I have already mentioned a few characteristics of social change, so I'm going to repeat it again. First of all, social change is continuous. It is something that never stops. As soon as your society proceeds, social change occurs in your society in a positive or negative way. Then it is environmental. Maybe natural environment can affect your society in a way that it creates social change. For example, if I talk about the COVID-19 pandemic right now, it was actually something that was the part of natural environment, and now you can see that it is having its negative impact on different nations and a massive number of people. Then social change is also human change, because whenever your society changes, you actually just to be accommodated in the society, you yourself change so that you can survive in the society in a proper way. So you change as well if your society changes. Social change may result from interactions of a number of factors. And what are the main factors? If I add different factors, then I can say that natural environment, population, technological innovations, and your overall ideologies bring about changes in your society collectively as well. Then it may create chain reactions as well. For example, if a change occurs in your society, it may also create other social changes. For example, if I talk about industrial revolution, if it came in a society, it actually had impact on different sectors of the society. If I talk about the invention of computer, it has made your communication easier, your interactions easier, feasible and faster. It has made your work easier. It has a huge application in your educational, in your economic sectors as well. So these are all the examples of how does one change create social changes, the chain of social changes in the society. And it is sometimes planned and sometimes unplanned, and overall we can say that it is inevitable part of society, inevitable element of society, inevitable social process. Now coming towards the distinction between social change, cultural change and progress. First of all, what is change? Change is alterations and modifications in overall societal structure, and it may be positive, it may be progressive, it may be negative, it may be fluctuating, it may be cyclic. While if I talk about cultural change, You can say that changes in the culture of your society are actually cultural changes, and culture is a huge vast term. I have explained in the previous video, you may go and visit over there. Culture varies from society to society, and modifications or alterations in the cultural aspects actually are cultural changes, and these are varying from society to society. And what is progress? Progress means moving forward. It is always positive. It is a change. It is a desired change. It is an approved directional change, and it is something that moves you, that pushes you forward. Social change and development. How can you relate these two concepts? First of all, if I talk about development, means that I am talking about a process that creates growth, progress, positive change, or the addition of physical, economic, environmental, social, and demographic components. So, development means growth. It means progress. It means positive change. And how are these two related? Because if I talk about individuals in a society, I may say that individuals are more than social beings. They are actually economic beings. They take their decisions rationally. Whatever subject you are going to opt, whatever job you are going to start, whatever business you are going to start, you are going to rationally calculate the costs and benefits of your decision. You are going to see that whether it is going to benefit me economically or not. So why are you social in this materialistic era? You are social because you want to actually strengthen your economy, your economic part, your economic positions in the society. So in this way, if social change occurs in the society and if society develops, actually it means it is going to have an impact on economic well-being of individuals and society as a whole. Then if I talk about sources of social change, there are basically two types of sources: internal and external sources. Internal or endogenous sources are the sources that are present within the society, and exogenous or outside external forces are actually the sources that are from outside of the society. Talking about internal sources, you may talk about technical innovations, you may talk about ideologies, you may talk about reactions to institutional inequality. These all are the internal factors that create social change in the society. How is technology? For example, right now if you talk about your society and you compare it with the previous societies, you can see that primitive societies were not very advanced. Why? Because there was no technology. Right now technology has changed your society. You can take an example of industrial revolution here. Since that era, it has changed your society by the use of technology. Then ideological shift. Ideology is basically a thought on which masses are putting in their efforts so that they can have something they want. For example, if you talk about ideology of Pakistan, you brought about change, you brought your country, you have independently started living. Why? Because of the ideology that you were following. So ideology is something that triggers you, that motivates you so that you can put in your efforts and get something you want. Then institutional inequality. Whenever a group within society observes that it is being discriminated, it has unequal access to the opportunities, so it starts taking initiative and it gets something that group wants, and then this is what creates social change in society. For example, if I talk about gays, or if I talk about transgenders, their marriages have been legalized in the America. Why is it so? Like before that, they were not part of marriage institution. Right now, their marriages have been legalized. Why? Because they took initiative. They were the part of counterculture. They had an idea that they were being discriminated in the society. They had unequal opportunities. They had unequal access to different opportunities. So they took initiative collectively. They started talking about their rights, started different movements, and right now their marriages have been legalized over there. That is a social change. And why does social change occur? Why did it occur? Why? Because there was institutional inequality over there. Then if I talk about women, for example, we take an example of Women March. Women think, or feminists think, that they do have unequal opportunities in the job level, in the economic sector, so they start talking about equal rights so that they can strengthen their position, their status in the society. So these are all the examples that how does institutional inequality trigger social change in society. If I talk about external sources, there are two main forces actually. Diffusion. What is diffusion? When something from higher concentration moves towards the lower concentration is diffusion actually. And how can you apply here? When a society starts transmitting its values, ideas, technology to the other societies, this is what you call diffusion, and this actually creates social change in the societies as well. Then forced acculturation. It is a social change that is imposed by or on the weaker people. For example, if there are two types of groups in the society that are dominant and subordinate groups. So subordinate group is being discriminated. It is a symbol, it is an object of discrimination. So if the dominant group of the society starts imposing its own cultural values over the subordinate group, then it is something, a change that occurs is something that is because of forced acculturation. Here are a few examples that you can see. And at the end, what are the obstacles in the way of social change? There are many, but I'm going to discuss few. First of all, lack of new inventions. The nations who are not very prone to new inventions, or who don't have facilities, who don't have resources to have new inventions, they are actually restricting social change in the society. People do have fear. Then here you can add cultural lag as well. When there is a gap between material and non-material culture of society, for example, vaccines have come, technology and innovations have come in the society, but you are not accepting it just because of your cultural values, your religion is restricting you, your beliefs and your values are restricting you to adopt that particular sort of change. So it is also creating obstacles in the way of social change. Then economic disparities, then power of the vested interests. The people who are in power, they actually want to maintain their monopoly, they want to hold overall society, so they restrict few changes that are going to harm their power and their monopoly. So these are all the reasons that why social change restricted in a particular society, or the obstacles that are in the way of social change. I hope you liked the video and you got the concept overall. Share your comments, share your experience, or any example that you want to add up in the comment section. I'm going to add more videos afterwards. Till then, take care and have a good time. Thank you.